next thing I'd like to talk about is when we switch up octaves, and I have a few cute stories with that. One of the greatest ones is just happened a couple of weeks ago when I was preparing for this lecture with the Utah music teachers. I have a nice, wonderful high school student, and he's working on Furley's. And of course, we all know this. And it's a wonderful piece for intermediate level students. And also, he is a fabulous improviser, and he loves to come into the lesson, and he'll sit down and just immediately work on something he's either composed or a piece that he knows, and he changes it up. He improvises. So he loves to do that. So he's already in that mode of improvisation. So he was doing Furley's, and he was getting down to the second part of the first page. That's what's written. But he happened to... I'm not sure if he meant to go up another octave. Knowing him, he improvises that in his practice sessions. But we sat and chuckled about it later when he finished performing the piece for me. I talked about how much I loved that, and that if he did that on stage, you endear yourself to an audience when you accidentally do that. Or he might have done it on purpose, I don't know. It was just lovely. And so it's easy to go do something in a wrong octave. I had a college student a few weeks ago in the performance class. At the end of her sonata, she was, wherever she was, one of her hands or both hands were up an octave from where it should have been. And she just kept playing and went through that phrase in the wrong octave, and then got herself down to the right octave. Another wonderful performance recital that I watched a while back, and a student started their piece up an octave, and it was so cute because you as a teacher, you sit back, and it wasn't my student, but I was watching or listening to this concert, and it was of younger students, and you sit and think, oh my goodness, what is she going to do? And it was so charming because she just kept playing. So she was playing up an octave, made the piece sound a little bit like a music box because it was up higher, and she played probably almost all the way through the first page of the piece, and then at some point just shifted down, and it was seamless. It was like it was meant to be. So I was so proud of this wonderful student that she kept going. It's jarring anytime something like that happens, when our finger slips or we play in the wrong octave. I remember one time that happened to me when I was playing the Beethoven Sonata Opus 57, the wonderful Appassionata, and in the very finale of the last movement, at some point, I'd have to go back and listen to the recording. I just know that I was the left hand was in the wrong octave. And I kept going and got myself, but it's so interesting because, we work so hard and we practice and get everything as perfect as possible. And then in the moment, something will happen, and you have to call on your ear memory and your analytical or theoretical memory, because it's like, okay, this is the tonic, I'm up an octave, and of course the piece is going really fast, and but you just keep going, and then same thing, a line or two later was able to get myself down to the right octave, and then it sounded better. So that's kind of what we can do when we we're in a fast piece and we end up in the wrong place or the wrong octave, and you just keep going, and then kind of help your hands know or fingers know how to change and get back to normal.